Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today I like I would like to explain and share about my mini research and my mini presentation. The title is Relationship between Republic Indonesia and Uni Emirat Arab in Analysis, Dynamics, Geographical, Economic, and Religion. So before we start to our discussion, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Shafiul Haq. I'm from International Relations student, Faculty Political and Social Science, and Muhammadiyah University of Chicago. So before we start, I will explain first about the introduction. For most ordinary people, the first things that might come to mind when the first hear the term Middle East are area of armed conflict, Arab-Israel strife, and center of terrorism activity. And however, despite the complex political condition in the region, the Middle East has two potential that have quite high value. The two potential are the oil wealth contained in territory of Arab countries and also strategic location for various interests. And one of country in Middle East is Uni Emirate Arab. The Uni Emirate Arab is a federation consisting seven regions, each led by emir. And we can see the the maps. So the region of UAE surrounded by vast expanse of desert and coast of the Persian Gulf, and each emirate is responsibility for its economy. With this geographical condition, the people there then relied on the sea as their source of including their economy, and finishing and looking for fuels become the source of livelihood for the population at so naturally the United Emirates Arab is currently one of countries experiencing rapid economic expansion and high population growth. So we have research question after research question. From explanation uh, of previous from previous explanation, Indonesia does not want to lose the opportunity to establish a good bilateral relation with the Uni Emirat Arab and has led to many significant cooperation and agreement between the two countries. First is what are the factors of United Uni Emirat Arab doing bilateral relation with Indonesia? Second is what is the model of Indonesia and Uni Emirates Arab approach in bilateral relations? And the third is what are the cooperation and agreement of the bilateral relation between the two countries? And we have, before we go to the framework of thinking, the framework of thinking, the first is by political realism by Hans G. Morgan and second Hart-led theory by Hartford McIntyre. Political realism theory in book Political Among Nations mentioned that there are two types of element of national power, namely tangible and tangible. A tangible is visible, is size of the area, population, number, factory, number of weapon and soldier, and number of research. And intangible is invisible, are diplomacy skill, fighting spirit, quality of human research. And in Middle East, in reality, there are difference of term of area size. In Heartland theory, uh, classify the world into four parts. The first is heartland covering Central Asia and Middle East. Second, marginal land covering Western Europe, South Asia, part of Southeast Asia, and most main land China. Third, desert, which including the North America region, and the last is outer continent, consisting of the America, South Africa, Southeast Asia, and Australia. And Hartland contained in his thesis mineral research unmatched by any other part of the world. And Mackinder argued that anyone who can control Heartland in the area of modern political and economic will be able to make towards the direction of the global empire. So we start our discussion. Uh, After Indonesia decided to strengthen friendship and fraternal relation with the Uni Emirat Arab in 1976, Indonesia President Suharto visited the UAE in October 1977, and the Indonesia Embassy in Abu Dhabi was found at year last start of between the two countries. And Vice President of the Uni Emirat Arab, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan, went to Indonesia in 1990 and followed by establishing of the UAE Embassy in Jakarta on June 10, 1991. So we have factors that what are factors that influence a relation Indonesia and Uni Emirat. The first factor is both countries have majority population. Diplomatic relation between the two countries is very important, considering the two countries have solidarity as the country with a majority Muslim population, and the two countries have the same value and attitude such as tolerance, moderation, sustainable energy, and development. The second factor is the Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest investment place in Uni Emirat Arab. Whether we realize it or not, the Uni Emirat Arab is one of large investor in Indonesia. And the third factor is the Uni Emirat Arab is a place import and export for Indonesia, and almost all area in Uni Emirat Arab, which are land with a desert climate, so that the potential to export food, agriculture, forestry, and fisher product is a very large. Import of food, agriculture, forestry, and fisher product to the region will continue to increase in line with population growth, which a strategic position the Uni Emirat Arab can be used as a gateway for Indonesian product to enter the market Middle East, Africa, South Asia, and Eastern Europe considered. And that most 70% of the UAE imported product will be re-exported to this country. That the export will increase, will have an impact on it. And we have soft diplomatic uh, as model diplomatic between Indonesia and Uni Emirat. In addition, in addition, the two countries have a relation that can be called mutualism for both of them. The namely mutually beneficial from the relation between the two Indonesia and the United the Uni Emirate Arab have never seen that all conflict were established in accordance with the agreement and feeling and attitude that both understand each other and need each other. So the diplomatic relation between the two countries can last a long time. And the last the discussion is agreement that exists between Indonesia and the UAE. The two countries signed several cooperation agreements. The two sides recently concluded the Uni Emirat Arab and Indonesian Week 2000 2021, during which several cooperation agreements were signed related to the port, logistics strategy, and defense industry, energy, tourism, creative economic, and mangrove farming. In trade and economic relation, there has been tremendous growth, with the volume of the trade exchange reaching around 45 billion US dollar. And you can see we have as much 16th deal among Indonesian with Uni Emirat Arab has been signed, and we have five agreement Indonesian government with Uni Emirat Arab government, and 11 agreement from President Jokowi to the Vice President Muhammad bin Zayed. And the last part is a conclusion. In conclusion, uh, it has been 45 years that bilateral relations have been establishing between Indonesia and the UAE. Not a short time in establishing a diplomatic relation for a country. There are many obstacles and challenges that must be faced by two words. For example, recent time we have being hit by a pandemic, and that is not playing which profound impact on both countries, but even in the world. And Indonesia and in Emirate Arab, uh, the close relationship between the two countries and continuously face in the line with a global crisis such as the currently COVID pandemic, climate change, food security, and sustainable development, and Indonesia enjoyed strong political, economic, and cultural ties. However, Indonesia remains committed to increase partnership because it is has the same value. And the last have the same values, not only impacting the relationship between the two countries as limit to bilateral cooperation, but also commit the contribution to overcoming global problems and maintain and upholding peace, stability, and prosperity in their respective region, and continue to work together for the uh, betterment of the two countries. So maybe that's all my explain in a mini presentation and my mini research. I apologize. I have a mistake. Thank you very much for your participation and attention. Ron, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.